my channel. I am going to be doing a New Year's Eve look tutorial for you guys today. It's the look that I have on my face going on right now. You guys two options whether or not you want to do a bolder lip, or if you want to do a more nude, more subdued lip, there's going to be that for you guys as well. You'll be able to see it in the clip later on, but both work really, really well with this eye makeup look today. So yeah, this look I created is just like a really silvery purple smoky eye with some 3D reflex silver glitter. You guys will be able to tell in this camera right now, but once I get a little bit more closer up, let's just do that real quick here. So once we're a little bit more up close and personal, you'll be able to see the reflex 3D silver glitter going on right there. So super, super festive, super New Year's Eve-y. So if you guys want to learn how to recreate this look, please feel free to keep watching the video, and yeah, let's get to it. So I'm gonna first start off with prepping my skin with this Becca Backlight priming filter. You guys already know this is my favorite primer as of right now. Gives your skin such a beautiful luminosity. It's really hydrating. Absolutely love it. Makes your makeup stay on all day. I'm just going to be applying my foundation. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation today. I am in the color Natural Beige. I'm just going to lightly dot it all across the skin here. Blend it out with the beauty blender. I'm going to be using the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Serum Concealer with a little bit of the MAC Prep and Prime Light Boost just to give it a little bit of extra brightness. We're just going to be applying these guys underneath the eyes just to kind of give a little highlighted effect. And on top of that, we're going to go in with the MAC Prep and Prime and Light Boost. We're only gonna do a couple little swipes here. And then again with your beauty blender, blend that out. Concealer, I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. We're just going to do a little bit of baking underneath the eyes. We're going to dispense whatever product into the cap here. It's quite a bit, and then we're going to use the same beauty blend that we've been using to apply our foundation and whatnot, and just dip it into the actual powder and then just pack it on underneath the eyes pretty much. So I like to go in with my finger and blend out the under eye one more time just to kind of smooth out the area. That way you're not setting any like concealer that kind of settle into any fine lines and whatnot, and that way you get a little bit more of a smoother effect. And then taking the beauty blender with all of our powder on it, we're just gonna press it into the skin. We're just gonna let that under eye powder kind of set and do its thing while we work on our eyes. Just gonna let this powder kind of sit and settle into the skin while we do our eye makeup. So starting off with the eyes, I'm gonna prep my eyelids with MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. Usually I use MAC's Soft Ochre Paint Pot just because it has more of like a warmer yellowy tone base to it. But I felt like I wanted to use Painterly today just because we're working with a little bit more like purples and cool tones, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna be applying this on with my ring finger here. Tartelette and Bloom palette, we're just gonna go in with the color Flowerchild right here. Just as an all over lid space color. So pretty much any shadow that matches your skin tone or is fairly close to your skin tone. The first color I'm going to start off with is going to be in the Anastasia Artist palette. The color we're going to go in first with is going to be Punch Fuchsia, which is this like kind of purpley iridescent-y type shade here, and I'm going to use a fluffy crease brush for that because this is going to go in our crease and kind of fade out into our brow bone. purple in the crease, I'm gonna go in with Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in Liberty. This is such a beautiful silver. Like, I've never come across a silver this gorgeous in my life. I'm not a silvery type of person when it comes to my makeup and my eyeshadows and stuff like that, but the silver is absolutely gorgeous. It's super pigmented, super creamy. If you guys have never tried Colourpop shadows before, absolutely amazing, especially for the price as well. It's amazing. I absolutely love them. To apply the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow, you can either apply it on with your fingers, but because I want to be a little bit more precise with my application, I'm going to be using just like a stiff synthetic bristled brush and kind of dip into the, or smear it into the actual pot, I guess. Definitely when you're using your fingers, you're going to get way more of a color payoff and pigmentation, and the color's just going to lay down a lot nicer. But like I said, because I want some precision, that's why I'm using a brush for this one. This color's just going to go all over the lid, kind of stopping once you hit the crease. Go and use that same brush that we used to put in the purple in the crease and kind of just blend out where the purple and the silver meet. What we're going to pick up is going to be Heirloom, which is this purpley shadow right here. This is from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow Couture World Traveler palette, however you want to call it. And I'm going to be applying that guy with my MAC 217. I'm just going to get a little bit of that guy in there. With the 217 brush, we're just going to go right into our crease. We're going to kind of concentrate it mainly into the crease area and kind of like the outer half of the eye. A lot of jumping back and forth between colors and stuff here, just because, especially with like a darker, more dramatic, like smoky eye, or just a dramatic eye in general, you just have to kind of jump back and forth with colors just to make sure everything is blended well. So I take that same fluffy crease brush that we've been using for the crease area, and I'm gonna be dipping it back into a little bit more Punch Fuchsia and kind of go over where Punch Fuchsia and Heirloom meet. That way they kind of fade a little bit better into each other. Gonna do is I'm gonna go back in and pick up some more of the Colourpop Liberty and just kind of pop that back on, because with all the colors and blending that we did, it kind of took away a little bit from the actual shadow. And the silver is where I want pretty much the most focus to be on, because this is gonna be where we put our glitter. One more time with the MAC 217 and a touch of Heirloom back into the crease. Just very lightly wiggling it into the crease area in the very outer corner. Clean fluffy crease brush. We're gonna go in with a little bit of Soft Peach from the Shadow Couture palette right there. And then with this shade, we're gonna go pretty much like right on the edge of where Punch Fuchsia was, and then our brow bone. That way it kind of blends a little bit more seamlessly into each other. I'm gonna go back into Flowerchild from the Tartelette in Bloom palette and bring that right underneath my brow bone. And now I'm going to go in with Noir from the Shadow Couture palette again, and I'm going to be using the Morphe E28 brush just on the very tip of it, and then lightly again go over where we put that Heirloom shade just to deepen it up just a little bit. Glitter, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner as a sticky base for my other glitter to go on top of. Glitter I'm going to be using on top of the Heavy Metal Liner is going to be this guy right here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's kind of just like a 3D silver, like holographic type of glitter right there. It's actually a glitter from Wet n Wild that they kind of come out with, I've noticed, like every like Halloween season or whatever. It's super finely milled. I'm not 100% sure if it's eye safe, so if you're gonna be using this, please be careful. But I've never had any issues with it or anything like that. But yeah, so it actually originally came in like a little like vial in a way, sort of, but that was just like super impractical for me, so I just transferred it into a little empty jar that I had. So yeah, Like I said, we're going to start off with Urban Decay Heavy Metal Liner as our adhesive for the other glitter to go on top of. And we're just pretty much going to be applying this wherever we have like our silver Colourpop Liberty shadow. Before this fully gets a chance to set, I'm going to go in with that same stiff synthetic bristle brush that I used for the Colourpop shadow. And I'm going to dip it into the glitter and then just press it right on top. On, I'm gonna go back in with the Noir shade again and just very lightly put it on the very outer edge. That way it kind of goes on top of the glitter a little bit so it looks a little bit more diffused and smoky. The liner we're going to be using today is going to be a liquid liner. I would suggest using a liquid liner over like a cream, a gel, or even a pencil just because it applies a little bit better on top of the glitter and it just kind of gives you a little more of a smoother application. And then because I can't really do my liner without a mirror like this close to my face, that's just gonna be what's gonna be happening. So I apologize if this bugs you guys or anything, but this is just how I put on my liquid liner. We have our liner and we're going to work on the lower lash line, so pretty much incorporating all the shades that we have on top on the bottom. So I'm going to be going back in with Punch Fuchsia again. I'm going to be using the Sigma E20, which is like a short shader brush, just kind of dipping it into the Punch Fuchsia, and then we're going to kind of just run that along the lower lash line first. Going back in with Heirloom, we're going to go over where we put the Punch Fuchsia. And then now finally dip into Noir and do the very outer corner of the lash line. And then now I'm going to take the Sigma E45, which is a super itty bitty taper crease brush, and I'm going to go back in with Punch Fuchsia again and run it at the very outer edge of the lower lash line. My eyes are pretty much done except for lashes and my eyebrows, which I'll get to in a second. I'm just going to finish off my face. I'm going to be using the Sephora Collection number 79 brush and just knock off that translucent powder. Color and shape back to the face. I'm going to be using my all-time favorite, the Make Up For Ever Pro Bronze Fusion. This is in the 30M. Because the eyes are so bold and I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do for the lips yet, I'm just going to go with the light neutral blush. I'm going to be going in with Prim from the Tarte Holiday Blush Palette with a Morphe E3 brush. Highlight, obviously, especially for New Year's. So the highlighter we're going to be using today is going to be the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Oh Darling. I'm going to be applying that with my Sigma Dual Fiber F15 brush. Now I'm going to go in with this a little bit of contouring. I'm going to be going in with the Tarteist palette right here. Is it Tarteist or Tarteist? I'm not exactly sure. But I have been loving this contour palette lately. It is so good. Like, I just recently went on a trip to Seattle to see my mom, and this was the only cheek related thing that I brought with me because it literally had everything I needed in one palette, which is amazing. And the colors are really awesome as well. All right, so I'm gonna be going in with these two contour shades right here. I'm just gonna be mixing the two on the very tip of my Real Techniques 100 brush. Off in excess, and then really just go into like the very like hollows on the cheek. And then that's pretty much it for the face. So now we can start on with brows, which take literally forever. I'm not gonna go through the whole like explaining how I do my brows because that's gonna be in a later video for you guys. So I'm just gonna be speeding through this, so yeah. done. Now I'm gonna curl my lashes and apply some falsies. The falsies I'm gonna be using today are gonna be the number 11 Kiss lashes, one of my all-time favorite drugstore lashes. They're very similar to the like Ardell Demi Wispies and stuff, but these guys are just a little bit fuller in my opinion. Mascara, I'm gonna be using the Loreal Voluminous Carbon Black and Waterproof. Everything is done except for the lip, so I'm gonna give you guys two options here. We can either go with a really nude lip, just because what we have going on everywhere else is pretty dramatic, or we can just go all out and go a little bit bolder. So I'm gonna be giving you guys, like I said, two options. For the nude lip, I'm gonna be going in with Kat Von D's Bow and Arrow, which is a really nice, like kind of brownie nude, but I think will work really well with this look situation. This is the finished look with a nude lip. Like I said, goes perfectly pretty much with like the really bold eyes that we have going on here. But then yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like with more of a darker, bolder berry lip. So for the bolder lip, I'm gonna be starting off with MAC's Nightmoth lip liner and line the lips with that real quick. Lip line, I'm going to be going in with Sephora Collection's Cream Matte Lip Stain in Blackberry Sorbet and put that all over. Here's the final New Year's Eve look with everything on. I am personally loving the bolder berry lip rather than the nude lip. I love them both, but this one I feel like just gives me a little bit more. But yeah, I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the details of the glitter and stuff like that, so you guys can get a better feel, because I feel like you can't really tell from this far away. So if you guys hear like a little noise, it's just the camera zooming in, so don't worry about it. So we're just gonna zoom in just a little bit here, or a lot of it, but yeah. So this is the finished look. I'm absolutely in love with it. I rarely ever use glitters or anything on my eyes, but this is absolutely gorgeous. I would actually recommend you guys use a like liquid lipstick or like a lip stain or something of the sorts, just because you don't want to be getting your lips like all over your Midnight Kiss, whoever that may be. So having like a liquid lipstick or a stain will definitely like keep you pretty kiss proof, so you don't get lipstick all over whoever you're going to be kissing that night. Thank you guys again for watching my video. I hope you love this look as much as I do. If you happen to recreate it, please tag me in the photos. I would love to see your recreations. Speaking of, I realized I've never done like a shameless plug on my social media outlets, so if you haven't already, please feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's going to be at STEPHANIETRANMUA, and if you want to get a little insight on my inner thoughts and whatnot and want to follow me on Twitter, it's gonna be at Stephanie with 3 E's at the end and then Tran. I'll leave all the information and everything down in the description box down below. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this look, whether or not you like it with a bolder lip or you prefer it with a nude lip. You guys have a happy new year. Please drink responsibly and be safe out there. Also, get a designated driver if you don't have that at least. There's always Uber or Lyfts and stuff like that, so just don't drink and drive and be stupid. Just don't do it. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.